Hi everyone, it's Bianca here again. I even put makeup on today because I felt like I'm going a little more official recently with my videos. Um, Today I wanted to talk about the paleo diet. I know a lot of you will kind of maybe roll your eyes at this, but I've given this a lot of thought, and I thought, like, why not tell people about this big part of my life, which has been this amazing diet that has made us feel so much stronger and healthier. I've dabbled on with various types of diets for the last year, just trying to find the right balance for our lives. Just trying to get a little healthier. And I guess some of you will maybe think like, it was a midlife crisis because I'm going to be 40 next month. Yes, I know. Maybe it was a midlife crisis approaching, but you reach the half of your life and you're starting to think like, what are things that I can do to make myself better and healthier? Not that what was before wasn't good enough, but I just wanted to maybe improve, just to have the next half of my life be better than my first half of my life. So a big part of that was eating better, just a healthier diet for us. And I will say that I think we've always been healthy. We've always eaten a whole-based food diet. And the only thing was that I was starting to feel very bloated and I was just feeling tired. And I thought that, nutrition is it just goes into that so much, right? I remember doing this workout program, and I have to say like 80% of it was nutrition. It just blew my mind away how when you eat right, it makes a massive difference in your life. So starting last year, I started by looking into the gluten-free diet, and I noticed that made a huge impact right off the bat. I didn't feel as bloated, as when I eat wheat or gluten-based carbs, and I just felt better. And then I started, thinking more about the amount of meat and animal products that we were eating. And, of course, like everybody else out there who starts thinking about these things, I started thinking about, reading more about it. I started reading more about it. I started watching some documentaries. And, of course, those documentaries really concerned me because they pulled up all this data on how eating meat will lead to cardiovascular disease and this and that. And so many issues of our society can be blamed on the amount of meat that we eat. So then I just did a complete 180. I cut off our meat completely because, at home, I'm the one who cooks. So, whatever I cook, my family is eating. They have no choice. Sorry, guys. So I completely made the switch. I switched over to not eating any meats. And, at first it was a real struggle. My husband was looking at me like, what are we doing? Are you seriously just going to give me lentils for dinner? Actually, lentils was one of our favorites. That's not a good example, but you know what I mean. My husband and my son are complete carnivores. So you can maybe imagine the look on their faces when I put a plate of, plant-based meal in front of them. And we tried that for a week, didn't go well, so I signed up for one of those boxes that they deliver the ingredients and the recipes ready to go, and we absolutely love those, absolutely. Even my carnivorous husband loved it. But it was a lot of work, a lot of chopping and all that stuff, and as a mom of 3 little ones, I don't necessarily have the time to stop everything to look at a recipe, prepare the ingredients. I like to just kind of go with the flow, open the refrigerator, see what I have, and go with it. So we did that for a while, but I will say that I never really felt strong. I never really felt at my best with a vegetarian or a vegan diet. I always felt like I was missing something. And I remember thinking like, gosh, is there a diet out there that you can just have it all, and just be happy and healthy, But of course, the more you look at the standard American diet, the more you realize that it's not very healthy, right? So I really am, those of you who don't know me well, I'm really into paleo living. kind of going back to our ancestral roots. I feel like the closer we are to that, the happier we are. And that guides my belief in education. It guides my, with unschooling, how kids naturally learn. It guides my belief in, being out in nature more. We are animals too. We need to be out here. It soothes our mind, our spirit, our soul, everything. And physically too. And so I thought, I'm so into all this paleo stuff. Why not look into the paleo diet? And years ago, a friend of mine started getting into the paleo diet, and I rolled my eyes because I just thought, well, the paleo diet is just, you just eat a lot of meat, and how is that going to be healthy? Excess of anything is bad for you, right? Anything in excessive amount is bad for you. So, but I just decided to be open-minded about it. So I picked up a book like I always do. I always I love to read. So I read a book on the paleo diet. And the science behind it really made a lot of sense to me. Grains were only invented about 10,000 years ago. Yet our bodies developed 50,000 years ago or more. So throughout our entire evolutionary time period, there were no grains. These starchy grains, that are heavy on sugar, actually, they didn't exist. So now our diets are heavy on that. And in fact, the book called us carnivores. And so, we're eating this diet that's heavy on all this stuff that our bodies were not made to process. So no wonder we have all this inflammation and, these diseases of civilization that they call it, these autoimmune diseases. I have asthma, I have eczema, and a lot of it arguably could be tied to our diet. I mean, it's so impactful in our overall health. I mean, I think everybody knows that diet is everything, right? That we're having the right diet. But a lot of us don't know how to go about it. But anyways, I'll cut to the chase and just say that once we started paleo, we just feel very satisfied. We don't feel deprived. And I'm saying this with all honesty. I don't feel deprived. Because it's a diet that is moderate on meat. So you're not eating a ton of meat, 2/3 of your plate is meat. It's moderate on meat. In fact, it should be like the size of your fist. And then it's covered with all these vegetables. It is heavy on vegetables. And high on good fats. The fats are key. That's what keeps you satiated. So, avocado oil drizzled on your vegetables, olive oil. This year I started foraging out here since we got a lot of plants, and I came up with this wild garlic mustard sauce, and it was delicious. I poured that thing on my salmon and steak, and it was amazing. And finally I can say that we're all very happy. And I know a lot of moms watching this might be curious about, well, what about your kids? Because they have a different nutritional requirements than we do, right? I always worry about that. I'm all for the best nutrition for our kids. And at first I jumped in and I went all paleo with them. And I just wanted to see what it would look like. And it really surprised me, and I mentioned this on my blog, that my latest blog post, that they started eating a lot more vegetables because there wasn't any starchy carbs on their plate. Because I really focused on the healthy fats, the moderate meat, and high on veggies. And at first I was like, these kids are not going to eat it. But they actually started eating it, because they know that I won't cook different meals for them. I'll cook whatever we have. That's what we get. If I'm really desperate and they absolutely don't want it, I'll make something else. But it's not always the case. It's an exception. But I was really surprised that they were actually eating it. And the funny thing was that they were asking for less snacks and treats during the day, because what they were eating was this good food with good nutritional value that was actually filling them up. But now I kind of pulled back a little bit because I am kind of reassessing these things. I do 80-20 with my kids. So maybe twice or 3 times a week, I'll give them rice on the side. I'll give them a gluten-free option, like a gluten-free pasta or something like that. And then the next day, I'll go back to paleo. So I kind of go one day paleo, one day 80-20. And then when we also visit our friends, I just allow them to, they can just eat whatever, honestly, because I don't want them to build a sensitivity to wheat. So when we're out and about, we just go with the flow. I'm not strict with that at all. But so that was kind of a good balance that I've reached with our kids. And I think it's going on well. Our kids look very healthy. I was even saying this to my husband the other day, that our kids, like, gosh, Jimmy looks really healthy, doesn't he, on that scooter? I mean, he just looks well built, and like, he doesn't look too skinny or too chubby. Like, he looks healthy. And I have to say, us too, like, my husband has lost like 30 pounds, which I'm really jealous about, because, I've lost, 5 pounds? Although that's never been my goal, because I think I was already skinny to begin with, but I've toned up a lot, especially in the midsection, which is the hardest part to lose, right? So that's that. So I just wanted to give that kind of brief description of what we've been doing. And if you guys are curious, I can film another video with just showing you guys what we eat, just kind of going through our refrigerator. Because it's packed with vegetables. In fact, let me go show you right now. It's packed with vegetables, and so we focus really on vegetables and fruit. So we have bananas here, oranges, avocado. We just did grocery shopping today, so it really helps to show you guys what we eat. So we go through a ton of bananas for the girls, and yes, some paleo people will say that that's got too much sugar, but I'd rather see them eating bananas than opening a bag of chips. So, and here is our paleo diets that we, sorry, not our paleo diets, our paleo pancakes. All right, and see, Evie here is asking for, what are you asking for? Banana. A banana. So these are our paleo pancakes that I make every morning, and they love this. It's gluten-free. It's really delicious, very satisfying. They absolutely love it. So here you go. Let me go give Gubby a banana. Hold on. So anyway, she got her banana. So here's our refrigerator. It's stocked up with stuff. The kids, we still do dairy here because it hasn't really affected us much, but hardcore paleo people will say that you shouldn't do dairy. So I go back and forth. I've recently been enjoying my coffee with whole milk. But I will be going back to making my own almond milk because it's very creamy. Oh, look, Jimmy just went and got an apple. This kid goes through a lot of apples every day. Oh my gosh. I have to buy like 4 bags of apple a week. I'm serious. It's crazy. He's now into peaches now, so we're kind of like changing things a bit. But anyway, so you'll see that it's packed with like veggies. This is all, like, we eat a ton of veggies. And I love iceberg lettuce as a wrap. You would think that's like, oh, that doesn't sound great. I'd rather, do my regular wraps. But honestly, it does the trick, and it actually, you feel satiated. You feel full. It's crazy. My husband is 6'4", 229 pounds, which he's very proud of right now. And he eats like three of these veggie wraps, lettuce wraps. Stuffed with whatever you would, with a regular wrap, and he loves it. He's full, and I'm very proud of him too, because now he's making his own breakfast of eggs and tons of vegetables. Like, he makes it his own way. He has not been cooking. He has not cooked at all since I met him, like very few times. But now he's actually making his own breakfast. I managed to convince him to not eat the sugary cereal. He was doing that for years and years. In fact, his whole life. And now recently he switched to that, and now he sees how it keeps him full and keeps him feeling better during the day, and he's losing weight. It's like a win-win for him. So, we got spinach and tomatoes, and I made a gluten-free mac and cheese for the kids. And I got a ton of cheese here for the kids. That's always a great snack for them. And they have really been enjoying these little sweet peppers and these cucumbers. So as you can see, it's like we have a ton of veggies here. And this is basically their snack drawer. It's become this, now it's beeping my refrigerator. I gotta close it. It's become, their snack drawer. They reach out for for fruit, which I think is great. I think it's showing them a good healthy habit for their whole life. And here's my little pantry. So I really like the coconut milk. I like to mix it with chocolate. I wrote about this on my blog if you guys want to check it out. I like to mix it with these guys here, which we really love. 85% cocoa. So this is very, like, it's really dark chocolate. And you might want to start off with like a 60% and kind of build it up until you guys are used to eating dark chocolate, which is so good for you. Like, it has great antioxidant properties. And here's another snack too, like cashews. So like I said, you know, this diet really, there's a lot more to it than you might think at first. And ironically, I think it's closer to a vegetarian diet than the standard American diet. I know, because I'm talking about meat and eggs and all that stuff, but you're really eating a moderate amount. It's not like out of control meat, you know, you're really emphasizing more vegetables. The thing too that made me reconsider the vegetarian diet was the fact that you need a certain nutrient, right, that you cannot get only through plants. You can only get it through meat. So I was thinking, like, well, if I need to take supplements for that, isn't that telling me that we kind of do need meat? You know, all I can tell you is that we do feel very healthy and very active and very strong. And I wish that, you know, more people would try this, because it really makes a huge impact on your health. I mean, quantifiably on your health. You know, if you follow the diet correctly, it makes a big impact. So I hope this helps someone out there. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I would be happy to write a blog post and do a podcast episode on the paleo diet if you are interested in learning more. There are also a lot of Facebook groups out there that have been very helpful. I mean, you know, people who have questions, people who have been struggling, you know, the learning curve at first feels a little overwhelming because all of a sudden you can't rely on grains anymore. But you know, after a week or two of this, you just, you know, it's easy peasy, honestly. Like, I cannot see myself going back to grains anymore. That's how, you know, strong of a change it's been in our lives. So hope this helps someone out there. Let me know if you have any questions. Bye.